We hope you enjoyed today's stimulating conversation on the potential future of space warfare and its far-reaching effects on global politics and arms control. Complex concerns related to space exploration and military have emerged in today's quickly changing world. Some people think of space as a tranquil frontier for scientific advancement and exploration, while others see it as a bloody battlefield for world powers battling for control. If you want to obtain our great stuff and join our active community of like-minded people, make sure to hit the subscribe button and enable push notifications. Anti-satellite, ASAT, weapons are an example of the practical ramifications of the increasingly porous boundary between peaceful and aggressive uses of space technology. Several countries have shown in recent years that they are capable of destroying satellites in orbit by either direct physical contact or other techniques, such as cyber attacks or electronic warfare. These measures highlight the growing anxiety that outer space is becoming into a possible battleground. Take the hypothetical situation of a serious geopolitical battle between two countries. Satellites play a vital role in the communication, intelligence gathering, and navigation systems of every nation. In this tense situation, one country plans to use anti-satellite weaponry to take down the enemy's military and civilian satellites. The immediate repercussions would be catastrophic. There would be a breakdown in diplomatic channels and an increase in distrust and suspicion if communication networks were interrupted. The capacity to detect and react to threats would be greatly hampered by the loss of intelligence gathering capabilities. In addition, public transit, rescue services, and international trade might all be severely disrupted if satellite-based navigation systems suddenly stopped working. The consequences, however, will be felt for a much longer period of time. The use of weapons in space has the potential to start a catastrophic arms race in orbit. The danger of an unintentional or deliberate escalation is larger as countries race to perfect and deploy space-based weapons. As we explore unexplored terrain, the fate of our planet and our species hangs in the balance. The last frontier of human exploration and scientific progress is in danger of becoming a theater of war beyond Earth's borders. Is this the kind of world we want to live in the future? Do we really want to risk the potentially disastrous outcomes of arming space? Beyond military tactics and geopolitical power conflicts, there are profound ethical problems raised by the prospect of weaponizing space. They get to the heart of who we are as a global community. Cooperation and collaborative exploration in space have long been a driving force in international efforts to advance humankind. Bringing weapons into space threatens the ethos of collaboration and togetherness that the last frontier has come to symbolize. It is critical that we appreciate the weight of responsibility that comes with our hands on the future of space conflict. The ethical, legal, and diplomatic difficulties presented by the weaponization of space need serious deliberations on both the national and international levels. Let's look at a real-world example to better grasp the precarious balance and possible consequences associated with space warfare on international relations and weapons control. Anti-satellite, ASAT, weapon research and testing by several countries has been a major source of international concern in recent years. The 2007 Chinese ASAT test is out because it included the effective destruction of one of China's own weather satellites in low Earth orbit using a missile fired from the country. The world community was rocked by this display of anti-satellite capabilities. Satellites are essential for worldwide communication, navigation, weather forecasting, and reconnaissance. Yet they are very vulnerable as shown by the Chinese ASAT test. A country may severely disrupt global life and weaken the capabilities of other countries by aiming at and destroying satellites. The lethal potential of space-based weapons was made clear, and fears were raised about a growing arms race in space as a result of this provocative conduct. The destruction of a satellite delivered a message that space was no longer a safe haven from war and proved that vital space assets might be neutralized. As a result of this episode, the scope and effectiveness of international accords and treaties like the Outer Space Treaty were brought into question. Although the treaty forbids the use of nuclear weapons or any other kind of weapon designed to cause mass devastation to be placed in space, it does not address the use of conventional weapons or anti-satellite systems. Concerns about a Wild West situation in space have been voiced due to the absence of defined laws and enforcement procedures related to ASAT missiles and other space-based military technology. The fragile balance of power on Earth may be further upset if states started a race to develop and deploy powerful space weapons without strong international cooperation and agreements. The expansion of military capabilities into space has far-reaching consequences for international security and arms control efforts on Earth. It poses a threat to the tried and true approaches to arms restriction and verification that have been put in place to lessen the dangers posed by conventional and nuclear weapons. There is also the risk that a space weapons race might damage international confidence and complicate diplomatic efforts. It is difficult to have productive conversations and find peaceful solutions to issues when space is a disputed subject. There is a high risk of misunderstanding, mistake, and an escalation of hostilities, all of which might have disastrous effects on global stability. Existing treaties and accords must be strengthened, and new frameworks must be developed, if the international community is to meet these problems and prevent the escalation of space warfare. One way to stop the covert use of space-based weapons is to increase openness between countries by bolstering verification and compliance processes. More work has to be done diplomatically to encourage spacefaring states to talk to one another and work together. Effective weapons control measures that encourage the peaceful use of space and reduce the hazards associated with space warfare may be achieved via the cultivation of an atmosphere of trust and cooperation. Considering concrete instances of developing technology with the potential for weaponization heightens the worries around the militarization of space. Picture this: a country uses a strong laser or microwave weapon to knock down an adversary satellite. If the satellite in question has vital sensors for monitoring the weather or military communication networks, its destruction might have disastrous results. The disruption of such satellites might have devastating effects on global security, affecting essential services as well as military activities. Everyone on Earth is at danger from the weaponization of space, not only those directly participating in armed conflicts. The employment of offensive space capabilities has the potential to escalate conflicts and lead to disastrous results. Space warfare has the ability to affect the lives and well-being of people all around the world, and this fact must not be overlooked. Destabilizing space and ramping up conflicts may have far-reaching consequences for international peace and security in today's linked globe. The persistent conflicts between major space powers provide a clear indication of the need of addressing the future of space warfare. The race for space supremacy heats up as more and more countries invest in space technology. Concerns regarding the possibility of an arms race outside Earth's atmosphere have been raised as a result of the numerous ways in which this rivalry has already emerged. Consequences like China's ASAT exam have far-reaching effects. They show that it is becoming easier to target and destroy satellites, which has serious implications for international safety and emphasizes the necessity for stricter weapons control measures. Civilian infrastructure and communication networks that rely on space-based assets are equally vulnerable to disruption in the event of a satellite's destruction. This exemplifies the need of responsible conduct in space operations and the interdependent nature of our environment. Diplomatic actions and endeavors to reduce nuclear weapons use are crucial in responding to these threats. In order to construct complete frameworks that encourage transparency, trust-building, and responsible conduct in space, international collaboration and communication become crucial. Space arms control negotiations may build off of pre-existing international accords like the Outer Space Treaty and the Prevention of an Arms Race in Outer Space (PAROS) resolution. The risks and difficulties we confront today, however, necessitate that they be strengthened and modified. In order to prevent the weaponization of space, it is essential to establish standards and laws for its peaceful usage. Among them include encouraging openness about space operations, laying down standards for responsible conduct, and creating confidence-building measures between countries. Spacefaring countries would benefit from reduced mistrust and increased confidence if verification systems were strengthened and information exchange was enhanced. The ability to combine resources and expertise to tackle shared problems is another benefit of international collaboration. Safe and sustainable space travel for the future depends on coordinated efforts to improve space situational awareness, space traffic management, and debris reduction. The hazards of future space warfare may be reduced by emphasizing weapons control and diplomatic initiatives. We can create norms and rules that discourage the weaponization of space and encourage the safe and peaceful exploration of the cosmos by talking to each other and working together. Governments, officials, and international organizations must make successful weapons control a top priority and work together to create comprehensive frameworks. Space warfare is difficult, yet ensuring the peaceful and sustainable use of outer space is crucial to the future of global security. Finally, the future of space warfare is an important matter that needs our careful study. The path of international relations, weapons control, and humanity's continued quest for knowledge of the universe will all be affected by the decisions we make today. To keep space a place of harmony, scientific exploration, and international collaboration, We must have thoughtful talks, work together across borders, and promote responsible behavior. Thanks for coming along on this eye-opening journey into the possible future of space warfare and its effects on global politics and weapons control. Please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel if you found this topic to be interesting.